The holidays are coming, and so are your relatives. Room to Room is here to help you get ready for company. Enjoy 50% off on the furniture you need, dining, sleepers, mattresses, and more. Plus 24-month special financing. Company's coming. Get ready at Room to Room Tupelo.
Tupelo Smiles is a top-notch group. They're very compassionate about what they do. They've given me the smile that I've always wanted. I've been a patient for 15 years and I wouldn't go anywhere else. I just love Tupelo Smiles.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 6.
Good evening and welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 6. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynor back again with another dry and cool evening across North Mississippi. Can we get enough of this weather? I mean, a fantastic forecast once again. No complaints here, but rainfall is in the forecast. That's going to be in that extended outlook, but for now, staying dry. We remain dry for now. That remains the case for tonight and into the start of our Thursday. But slowly but surely that moisture builds back into the forecast, into a soggy Saturday, potentially, but more of a soggy Sunday in store for our area. Tracking the latest on those weekend conditions. If you do have any plans last weekend to go to the pumpkin patch, big weekend, we'll be looking at that as well here in just a moment. We also have the extended outlook beyond the 7-day. When do those rain chances go away? When do we get cooler air again? Because things will gradually warm up. Well, we'll look at all that in full detail coming up here in just a moment, live from the Room to Room Weather Center. Let's go ahead and get into the first 12 because the here and now is beautiful. You cannot beat this forecast. 7 p.m., 63 degrees, 53 by 10. Overnight tonight, we're going to be in for another cool start across North Mississippi. Mid-40s heading out the door, so grab those long sleeves once again. But clear conditions remaining in place getting into our Thursday as well. As of right now, clear conditions in place right now. Mississippi Live Weather Radar not tracking a drop of rainfall and still enjoying those calm conditions as we get into any of those midweek services or for any folks that are just wanting to get out and about this evening. Rainfall totals, I mean, just hilarious, putting it into perspective that we have not had rainfall in the past 24 hours and really in the last 36 hours as that front that pushed through yesterday. That's really been the extent of our rain chances the past couple of days. Let's go ahead and bring it out. And this is a big reason why our good friend high pressure dominating our area and giving us those drier conditions once again. But as it's shifting right over the top of Mississippi, that is of course shifting that pattern as well and making for another, I'm not going to say humid, but at least moving that moisture back into the forecast. So there you see that southerly wind on the west side wrapping in some of that moisture in the form of cloud cover towards Monroe and southern sections of Arkansas. As we push that forecast into those overnight hours, high pressure slowly but surely inches away from North Mississippi and into central portions of Alabama. So that southerly wind starting to move back into our forecast and bring back that moisture with it right out of the Gulf. No rainfall associated with it, but that cloud cover acting as a blanket just a bit for a few of us towards tomorrow morning, and that will of course give us some warmer starts to our Thursday altogether. So that high pressure, a thing of the past once we get into our Thursday afternoon, as we are watching these multiple systems that are developing out west and inching closer and closer to us here in North Mississippi, currently in Santa Fe, but a large batch of moisture moving into Oklahoma by Saturday, potentially for our Rebel fans out there, but really going to be in our forecast Saturday night and into our Sunday. So the next 24, dry as can be. But we are tracking a little bit of cloud cover in that forecast moving in early hours of our Thursday. 45 degrees, so a chilly start to the day. But as we get into that extended forecast, you can see 78 degrees there by 3. Those winds coming more out of the west, and that's going to help keep those conditions dry and keep those conditions, for the most part, on the clear side as we wrap up our Thursday afternoon. But coming up in 60 seconds here in the Room to Room Weather Center, we'll be walking through a little bit more of that forecast on the extended outlook. We're also going to be talking about the forecast in regards to that rainfall this weekend. Do you have any plans? I know we were talking about pumpkin patch plans. I might have a damper in it if weather has something to say something about it. So we'll look at that forecast a little bit more in detail here coming up in the next 60 seconds. And you might hear a familiar voice coming up after 60 seconds as well. Keep it here for the very latest.
Visualize perfection, freshly picked ingredients, tantalizing flavors, sweet and sour intertwine and dance into your glass. One-of-a-kind arrangements, hitting every note. Why wait for the weekend? It's on at the grill.
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
Blue skies over there in Boonville this afternoon. This photo submitted by weather watcher Grady out in the field and showcasing a beautiful fall afternoon here on our Wednesday. You can see those flags pretty breezy in the background, so that adds to what is already a good feeling forecast, makes it that much better. Grady telling us that they do have the, I believe, state band competition coming up this Saturday. So for folks heading out there, might be dodging some showers depending on where that's at. I have to check in and make sure where that's at. Grady, if you want to let me know, I'd love to get that information and maybe give you a breakdown on that forecast potentially at 10 p.m. tonight. But yeah, let us know. But Grady doing a great job submitting those pictures in Boonville. I love it with the new field in the background. I mean, that's such a great sight. Heard the band practicing earlier today, was up in Marietta for a school visit. And my wife and I were doing some things over at Northeast. So lots of stuff to enjoy. Actually, I'll tell you what the thing was getting a sonogram to see the gender of our baby. Could be coming up here soon. Who knows? You guys might hear the latest on that. But not anytime soon. Don't worry. I'll let you guys know. I'll give you a little bit of a tease. Anyway, okay, we've talked about blue skies enough. But as we go ahead and get into our forecast, Mississippi Live Weather Radar, dry as can be, not a drop in the sky, and really not a drop anywhere in the south right now. Mid-south staying dry and the southeast as well. Satellite imagery showcasing those dry and clear conditions. But I mean, it's just been a beautiful forecast here in North Mississippi. But you know where else it's been a beautiful forecast? Well, actually, Matt, it was cloudy yesterday, I actually believe. So what's the forecast looking at right now? I want you to do your full Australia breakdown of your forecast. Go ahead. Go. Oh, there.
I'm walking out of kind of a mall sort of area that's below our hotel, and I'm going to show you the blue skies we have out here on the beach and try not to run into some traffic here. I mean, it is a beautiful day, considering it is still largely early spring here, I think equivalent to our April. It's quite warm here. You can see the kind of sunny blue skies. Apparently my hair is going to do what happens in the wind and you put no hairspray in, which is one of the things we do here. Nobody coming that way. It's hard to get used to the fact they drive on the wrong side here. But it is a beautiful day out here at Mooloolaba Beach. I think I said that correctly. And you're right. Yesterday when we were out here, it was cloudy. It is now cloudless today. While we've been here, we've had virtually no rainfall, only sprinkles one time when we were back out at a place up in Cairns originally. That's been the only thing that resembled precipitation. They're actually in a fairly extensive drought around here. One of those issues a lot of folks around here have talked about, how climate change affecting that over time. And, droughts come and they go, but certainly has been a drier period. Here at Mooloolaba Beach, you can kind of see behind me there some of the rocks and things like that. Not friendly like some of our Florida beaches or even Mississippi beaches are. I don't know how deep I'd go into that there. We sat on some of the rocks. I kept joking it was like the Ariel rocks, like you'd expect Ariel from The Little Mermaid to pop up on. But the water is pretty pleasant, all things considered, for this point in the year. But the weather forecast is just about as pretty as you could hope for down under here on what is going to be our last full day down here. We are going to be back down here again tomorrow morning. We fly back from Brisbane, and for y'all back in the States, that is Thursday. For us, that'll be Friday morning. And the funny thing about it is we will go from Friday morning here to landing earlier Friday morning in San Francisco and getting back Friday afternoon in the Tupelo area in the Friday evening. So the funny thing about all of that is that, we'll have something like a 36-hour trip on Friday and it will all still be Friday for us. That's that whole international dateline thing and how that kind of changes. But yeah, this is a fairly tropical area, still subtropical as we're a lot closer to the equator there. And Well, what can we say? It is warm, and each day the days get longer here because we're working their way towards summer uh, in this part of the country. A lot of folks, of course, trying to come out here and work out. It's a little warm for running, but there's been 10 gazillion runners going back behind us here. So, Gabe, that's kind of where we stand here. Again, appreciate the good folks at MLM Clothiers for sponsoring our Wonders of Australia tour as we've gone around. I mean, honestly, Gabe, I don't remember, was there life before we went to Australia? Uh, there are some things at the beginning of this trip, Gabe, like when we were back at the Sydney Opera House, that seemed like a million years ago. But certainly it is warm and it has been a great experience.
Well, Matt, we miss you here in North Mississippi, so we're excited for whenever you want to come back, whether it's Friday
I miss y'all
or
too.
Friday. Well, it's completely unreal. I'm excited to see the video of your 36-hour plane ride that in reality is 12 hours or so. So
Okay, so the plane ride itself is I think 16 hours on the way back from Brisbane to San Francisco. Maybe it's 15 hours. At that point, does an hour make a difference? Yes, but we'll see how significant of a difference. And then because it's just since we go back across the international date line, it'll be whatever time of day it is, and then we'll lose a day. It's kind of like when we came here. I like doing Duolingo with my children. We play chess and some other things on there. And it took away one of my streaks when we went across because I lost a day. I'm like, well, hold on, that's not fair.
That is not fair.
What can I
Duolingo fixed
say?
that.
I know. Oh well. Anyway, we traded that away to get to come to Australia. So I guess I can use a streak freeze as far as that's concerned. Y'all have any other questions? Anything coming? Hey, anything coming to the comments over there? Just if you want to sneak on over to check some of those out, see if there's anything we can answer.
Well,
and by the way, we've been doing the group. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, a lot of folks are saying, hey, Matt, to miss you and ready for you to come back here. Same thing they've been saying. They're just ready to see Matt Laupon back in Mississippi, and did a school visit earlier today.
I'm
and
excited to come back.
I want you to make an appearance at some point because, going out and seeing everyone in the community, they're all asking, where's Matt? Where's Matt? So got to go visit a few places.
We'll be back for sure. The other thing, we've been doing the great toilet tour of Down Under. And so far they have a very specific like Caroma or something like that type of toilet. It must be their American standard, and it just throws water at it from all directions. So that is, it knows it's trying to trick us. But I did very, very recently find an, I'm just going to call it antique toilet. It was in a place we weren't even supposed to stop, but it actually had a spin to it.
Was it the right spin?
I'm not going to tell you which way, but
oh my word. The tease.
Well, what is the correct spin? That's the question. What is the one in the Northern Hemisphere? Which way does it go? Can you tell me your toilet which way it goes?
I'll be honest, no. I'm so fascinated by
other people. We just know
people's.
that it goes, right?
Exactly. So you could fool me and say it is going the other direction.
This does have one. So I will post that video probably a little later on today. To show you the one toilet so far, and I mean, human beings. So we've used a few of them while we're here. This is the one that actually has a little bit, and wasn't even a hotel room, so it's kind of a bonus one. And if you don't know what we're talking about, you can go on my Facebook, and it's the most immature thing. But anyway, we're checking out which way it goes to try to answer that. And by the way, I should very, very clearly clarify here: the hemisphere makes no difference. The Coriolis force is what makes things turn. And that does affect cyclones, as they call tropical systems here. And then, of course, our tropical storms and hurricanes in the Northern Hemisphere. But those are on the scale of thousands of miles. It makes a difference. You start talking a few inches. No. It has everything to do with the way the commode is designed, not the way in which the hemisphere is oriented. So anyway,
you say
to blow that joke out of the water.
Well, you say immature. I call it riveting. That is the thing that I have been looking forward to each and every day is, does Matt have an update? I need to know.
We have a woman here from a couple from Calhoun County that are with us, and one of the woman is part of that couple. Has been following along with it as well and has been very entertained. So I think it's been kind of the secret obsession with some people on this trip. So,
yeah, I mean,
anyway,
it's our obsession
Mrs.
here too.
Laupon has returned from the the souvenir store. So let's find out what that's cost me, and we'll wrap things up here. But y'all be safe. I don't know how many more of these updates. I think we'll have one more update. We're supposed to go on a on a little river cruise. That'll probably one of our last updates that we end up sending from our Wonders of Australia tour. And just appreciate everyone from following along, and appreciate MLM for supporting us there on Mississippi Live Weather.
See, you need
And
to
all
do
the
your,
folks that are supporting us as well.
Exactly. You need to do your last one, just be a fade to black, and then you just emerge from the green screen. That'd be kind of crazy.
Well, there'd definitely be a gap between broadcasts on those, that's for sure.
Movie magic.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Well, y'all take care. Have fun. Enjoy your, is it Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday evening there.
Woo! Exciting. We're halfway through the work week.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yep.
Well, you have a good one, and we will talk to you very soon, but enjoy your last couple of days there in the land down under, and you'll be back here to the
Thank you.
land of Magnolia here very soon.
The land of back in the deep south, right?
Back in the deep south, where it's home. Well, Matt, I'll let you go.
Yes,
Enjoy
absolutely.
the souvenirs. And honestly, we'll talk to you later and get to see those insights from the Wonders of Australia. We'll see you very soon. So bringing it back here to the room-to-room weather center, you can kind of see our church forecast going forward this evening. Probably already there, but if you have one of those later midweek services around 6:30 or 7 o'clock, you can see that forecast 69 degrees, probably about 67 by now, 58 by 8 o'clock, and 53 there by 10. So we are cooling off as we head into that extended forecast. But I'm going to take it back here to the wall real quick so we can go in a little bit more detail. Yeah, it should be going. Let me see. There we go. Gotta love technology. And so looking at that church forecast and of course transitioning it into our futurecast, you can see that there's plenty of clear skies, plenty of dry air still in place, and that's what continues to dominate our region. You see that high pressure currently south and west of us here in North Mississippi, but very close to home, giving us those dry conditions, but also giving us the calm conditions. You can see a little bit of those clear skies across North Mississippi by 10 p.m., but as that high transitions more to the east, makes way for some of that moisture to return as that Gulf or southerly winds bring in some of that Gulf moisture. So this is going to be about 2 a.m. on your Thursday, some partly cloudy conditions around Hollandale and Greenville, extending in that forecast towards our Thursday morning, the start of our Thursday morning, whenever folks are actually waking up. There you see those partly cloudy conditions south of 82. So if you work anywhere north of Highway 6, probably not dealing with any cloud cover, but that will come soon enough. Let's go ahead and look at those low temperatures where, of course, it is going to be coolest north of Highway 6, 45 Tupelo, 46 Corinth. Down south, we're talking 47 Louisville, 47 Greenwood, and 50s out there towards Cleveland and Greenville as well. So it is going to be a little bit warmer than where we were sitting at this morning, but still a cool enough start to have those long sleeves on standby. So make sure to have that on standby. Someone just told me, one of my friends over there in Union County, our toilets flush clockwise. There, they flush counterclockwise. We'll see. We'll see when the video comes out, Mr. Tommy. But appreciate the insight because I have never looked at that here in the Northern Hemisphere. So who knows? Who knows what happens in the video? I'm definitely excited to see it. Drop off 45 degrees for your school day, 72 by lunch, and 78 by that final bell. Still with clear skies all day long. But we are dealing with some partly cloudy conditions compared to today where it was blue skies galore. So as we keep that futurecast going into your Thursday morning, still with those partly cloudy conditions, those linger in the forecast all day long, but still getting enough breaks for the sunshine to peek on through. So it is going to be a very enjoyable forecast again, despite us having a little bit more action in the sky, and action being just cloud cover, no rain. So yes, dry conditions remain in place, so any of those afternoon activities still are good to go. I mentioned the state band competition. Well, Grady, you and the band are good to continue practicing for your Thursday afternoon and get ready for Saturday as well. Thursday evening, sticking with those dry and honestly mostly clear conditions by this point, it's going to make for another beautiful evening with whatever plans you may have in place. High temperatures, 78 Houston, 78 Tupelo, 74 towards Iuka. Down south and west, we are talking 80 degrees in Greenwood and 79 towards Greenville and Belzona. So there's that slight warming trend over the next few days that we're going to be experiencing, but definitely grateful that at least we're dealing with dry conditions in the process. That give and take in full force. So Thursday evening remains on the drier side, but I want to point something out. We are using our strike model. And I assure you that once the HRRR model comes out later this evening, no rainfall is going to be on it for our Friday. Very dry weather. And so strike is just a little bit ambitious, misses the rainfall, wants it to come back, and it just trying to speak it into existence. It's not going to verify, but we are going to get this cloud cover. And that's what I want to showcase for you guys, is that moisture does return with those white puffy clouds way high up in the sky, continue to remain over the top of us with partly to mostly cloudy conditions all day Friday, but all this green not really expected to be here in North North Mississippi, as we are still battling a very dry environment for any of those Friday plans. So sticking with that forecast, 3 p.m., still seeing those showers work their way on through, but again, further out towards the west, but cloud cover for us here in North Mississippi. Now let's go ahead and talk about some of the atmospheric analysis. What do we have right here? Well, we do have a warm front lifting up from that low pressure center we talked about at the top of the broadcast. That, of course, is all shifting out there towards the east, and as this warm front inches closer, gives us a potential for a few scattered showers heading into our Saturday. Yes, our Saturday. Friday, it's a little bit ambitious reaching those showers all the way into North Mississippi when that front is currently in Shreveport, Paris, and Wichita Falls, Texas. I mean, that's just a little bit of an extensive threat for those showers to take place. That front does build more and more towards the east, so we're not saying it's an impossibility, but it's a very much of an uphill battle, reaching hundreds of miles to reach all the way there towards Greenville. So we keep that forecast going into those overnight hours. You can see that warm front remains pretty consistent, but that low pressure center, I mean, this is going to be attached to some decent chances of rainfall. Wichita Falls all the way down to Austin getting a good downpour, and you can kind of see, if I bring it in right here, Norman, Oklahoma, getting some showers as well. A little hint to our football preview. So if you're heading out to the game, have that rain gear ready, because Norman, Oklahoma going to be a pretty soggy forecast for our Saturday. Friday, high temperatures, we're talking mid to upper 70s across the region, still with a few 80s popping up, Greenwood and Belzona. But, I mean, that's close enough to our average where we can't be complaining. If we were talking everyone in the 80s, then I would accept a few complaints. But this is not too shabby. Let's go ahead and get into that forecasted rainfall real quick. Why don't we? So tomorrow, dry. Like I said, nothing to expect whenever we talk about those rain chances. And same thing for our Friday. Forecasted rainfall, 0. So we are expecting those dry conditions to be in place, even though strike model trying to get at least a few showers in there. No, not going to verify. Friday, dry once again. But let's get into our Saturday. And there's where that warm front starts to inch a little bit more into the area, with a 1/4 of an inch around Greenville and becoming less as we head further out. 1/10 of an inch Greenwood and Cleveland, and a few hundredths of an inch out there towards Grenada, Atala, and Tunica County. But if we keep that forecast going into Sunday, should I say, look at the difference. We're talking upwards of possibly 2 inches in some spots as that frontal system works its way on through. Going to be a soggy Sunday, all things considered. Honestly, Sunday, it's a good napping day. We always want Sunday to take that afternoon nap. With the rain, my goodness, you guys might not even wake up because that's as prime conditions as you can get. A little bit cool outside, so you can wear the sweatshirt, and oh my word, you know what I'm doing Sunday. So Maynard household going to be hibernating. That's what we're going to call it. Not napping, hibernating at this point. As we push into that extended forecast, though, you can definitely see that the heart of the storm going to have the most impactful rainfall, 2 inches around Dallas for your Saturday, and that just kind of becomes a little bit less extensive the further out you go. So we're kind of on those outer bands of that system working its way on through. But getting into Sunday, we're at the heart of that action, as those 2 inches showing up in Monroe, and for some southwest portions around the Rolling Fork region. But some of that could definitely reach into Greenville, maybe as far east as Atala County, depending on how quickly that system moves in. But Sunday, basically, don't make any plans outside. This is our, of all the days, going to be closest to the washout that we'll see. So unfortunately, it is our weekend, or we're experiencing the rainfall, but we do still need that rainfall here in our forecast. So for anyone looking to head to the pumpkin patch, we were looking to head to the pumpkin patch this weekend. There is a time frame that would be good to go, and that is going to be for your Saturday. But again, we talk about that outlook, and I'll bring it back up here real quick because I want to emphasize this point. Saturday's rainfall outlook is talking about this specific area out there west of I-55. Now, this area just now showing up on recent model runs. Beforehand, that frontal system was moving a little bit slower, so Saturday was looking slightly drier, but now speeding up once again, and that's where rain chances started to move back into the forecast. So Saturday, if you are east of I-55, I think we're still good for any of those pumpkin patch plans, but if you are west of that, definitely need the rain gear handy. Probably not wearing those, pumpkin patch fits that we want to take pictures in. We'll probably need to have the rain gear, a raincoat, some rain boots, anything of that matter to stay dry and stay as least dirty as possible. I'm speaking from experience. I've gotten several muddy days in the pumpkin patch growing up. But 67 Sunday, and Sunday, honestly, don't really plan on going to the pumpkin patch because that frontal system will be working in full force, giving us those best chances of rainfall. So it is good, but not good for heading outside to a pumpkin patch, of course. But it is our final weekend. There is still a time frame to do so. So Saturday afternoon, it'll be a busy time because that seems to be the only time for a lot of folks to go get those last-minute pumpkins. 45 degrees by 7 a.m., 75 by noon, and 78 there towards your Thursday afternoon. Keeping that forecast going, Friday, 75 degrees, Saturday, 75, and dropping into 67 there for Sunday. Big reason why? Moisture returns. So we have these temperatures, our high and low temperatures, they become more consistent with not as much disparity as that rainfall pushes into the forecast. So you can see right here, 78 to 45, that's a 33 degree temperature change. And compare that to our weekend where it's 67 to 56. An 11 degree temperature change. So we talk about that blanket in the sky. Well, rainfall, a big hefty blanket, not letting things warm up or cool off. We're staying pretty consistent all day long, giving us, this is kind of one of the ways we look at the best way to verify those rain chances, and being that it's 56 to 67, I'd say 50% might even be over, or underdoing it for our Sunday rain chances, but continue to assess that over the oncoming days. And even in the next week, we're only talking about a 15 to 20 degree temperature change, not 32. So it shows you those dry conditions not exactly going to be in place, and isolated showers linger into early next week. One of the things we're going to be talking about here in 60 seconds is going to be that extended outlook beyond our Wednesday. What can we expect? Well, there is some good news in the forecast if you want those drier conditions to return. If you want to go trick-or-treating next Friday night, yeah, we'll start airing those forecasts here shortly, and it's going to be a good outlook for it as well. Stay with us here in the next 60 as we assess that live from the Room to Room Weather Center.
Growing up, Gabe was naturally curious when he began to discover weather. Gabe just didn't want to know what was happening, but he wanted to know why it was happening. Gabe became fascinated with tornadoes, and it impacted his life. He wanted to pursue a career in meteorology. Even though Gabe grew up in Alabama, Mississippi has now become his home and his family. And one thing about Gabe is he keeps his family safe.
Well, bringing it back here to Mississippi Live Weather at 6, we're taking a look at those extended outlooks and what to expect heading into the end of our October and start of November. And as you can see right here, October 28th through November 1st, above average conditions, but I hate that it's this time frame because October 28th is, of course, a soggy day. October 29th, let me make sure my time's right on this. October 29th would be 7 days from today. Still looking like some isolated showers, but beyond that, that frontal system kind of clears us out, and we'll be looking at some drier conditions heading into Halloween. So October 31st, I know it's within this time frame, but don't listen to all of those greens. We will be getting better conditions by our Halloween forecast, and we'll of course start airing that over the next few days of what to expect for next Friday. And as we look at precipitation outlook, well, here you go. Here's a better look right here. October 30th through the start of the month on our November 5th. My word, are we in November already? Well, you can see some drier conditions pushing in place, and that's what to expect for our Halloween is some drier conditions. So yes, that is a fantastic sight, because I know growing up, I think we had like 4 rainy Halloweens and miserable. We still went and got candy, but it was miserable out there because you also have those cool temperatures as well. Next 30 days, you can see some of those wetter conditions getting into North Mississippi. A great outlook for farmers out there needing that last minute rainfall before that harvest here in the next month or so, but definitely needing it as we have been battling those rough conditions the past few months. Next 3 months though, precipitation outlook is as average as it comes, as you can see right there. So no need to bother with any rain chances, as that's going to primarily be up there towards our north, but hey, life could be worse. We could be looking out west where it's a much drier forecast. Let's go ahead and get into our temperature outlook for both the, or for all 4 of the things that we just showed, all of those outlook time frames. October 28th through November 1st, around average. And why that matters is because our high temperature average this time of year is around 74 degrees. But I think we'll be much cooler than that for Halloween. I think this is overdoing it in regards to how it'll feel outside. So buckle up for some cool conditions, especially pushing into our Halloween. This doing a better look at showcasing that. Our October 30th through November 5th time frame, drier conditions in place, but those blues showing up, meaning those nights are going to be crisp and cool. Long sleeves might be necessary for some of those Halloween outfits that have some short sleeves or shorts. We definitely need to overcompensate for that as we do stay out into those evenings and want to stay warm in the process. Looking at that extended temperature outlook for the next 30 days, slightly above our average for this time of year. So we're looking at a little bit of a few degrees up, but I do see a little bit of average around Highway 72 on the northern side of the state. So some areas getting some luck in that forecast. And then the next 3 months, our temperature outlook showcasing way above normal when it comes to our temperatures. So warm conditions in place and definitely something I am not looking forward to. Ready for that cooler air to happen. And honestly, I just want to feel like fall. Is that too much to ask for? Let's go ahead and get into that day planner because today it will be dry, it will be cool, it will feel crisp. So any plans you have this evening, we're not expecting those above average temperatures just yet. That's more heading into the weekend. 58 there by 8 p.m., 53 by 10, and 50 there towards midnight. Getting into the 40s once again for our Thursday morning. Not going to be a breezy forecast. That makes it at least a little bit more bearable. Wind chill not a factor whenever we don't have any wind to chill the atmosphere. So that's something to look forward to, but also make sure to remember that there is a rainy forecast this weekend. We'll have the latest details on that forecast coming up tonight at 10. So make sure to keep it here for the very latest on that forecast, and we will keep you guys informed. And that HRRR model comes out, and it'll give us a better look at Friday's rain chances as well, which are none. Don't believe the strike model. But yeah, we'll be looking at more detail about that here coming up here in the next couple of hours. As we end the show, I do want to encourage you guys to download the Mississippi Live Weather app, free and available on iOS and Android. Has our 24/7 stream at the top of the page whenever you open it up, and has our live shows on that stream at 5, 6, and 10, and our morning shows at 6:30, 7, and 7:30 with meteorologist Maggie McCauley, tracking cool conditions for the start of our Thursday, but she's also tracking those rain chances this weekend. Keep it here for the very latest, and you guys have a great evening and some great midweek services, and we'll see you back here at 10 o'clock.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.